So what a great fight weekend is behind us. I mean, I barely slept a couple of hours. I had to go to work and I didn't feel tired at all. I was pumped. I mean, after all those great performances, I just couldn't wait for the next week when we have some great events. And let me just start with Brook and Gennady Golovkin. They fought in UK. It was a great match. It only lasted 5 rounds, but still, we saw Brook giving a lot of problems to Golovkin, hit him with some clean shots and frustrating the Kazakhstani star. I mean, we could see Golovkin has had trouble with his pressure, had trouble with timing the counter attacks from Brook. So for the first 3 rounds, Brook was really on his way to an upset. And then in the fourth round, Gennady just started really brutalizing Brook, and it's like Golovkin's training partner are saying, when he puts into the second gear, nobody in the world can really follow him, and that's what happened. And it was the best performance of Golovkin's opponent in Kazakhstani career, but still, it didn't even went through half of the fight. It was stopped in the fifth, and I mean, just a great performance from both guys. And Gennady just proved he's probably the top pound for pound fighter in the world. I mean, even Roman Gonzalez fought in Saturday, but Golovkin's performance was really something that's gonna go down in the record books. What's next for Brook? He has an eye surgery today, so on Monday, his eye socket is very badly damaged, and he's going in Sheffield's hospital today to have that repaired. The problem with that is that these eye injuries usually take at least a year to come back. Antonio Margarito had a similar injury, and he needed more than 1 year to come back. So it's a long process. Sometimes it's an even career-ending injury. I hope that's not gonna happen with Brook, but I believe he's gonna be back maybe by 2018. And some are saying when he comes back, he's got Amir Khan in a domestic matchup of superstars. So I would love to see that. I think Brook's stock has risen after that performance. Even though he lost, I mean, he gained a lot of recognition, especially in the US where all the big fights lay. So I'm sure that's gonna benefit his career, and I just hope he comes back the same. As far as Golovkin, we already know 90% who his next opponent is. That's gonna be Billy Joe Saunders. He called him in the ring after. It's an undefeated middleweight champion as well. So it's gonna be a unification bout. Golovkin said he's only interested about unification bouts from now on. So if HBO allows, maybe it will happen by the end of this year, but most probably at the beginning of next year. Billy Joe Saunders sent a video on the internet as well, calling Golovkin. So both undefeated, both great fighters at the top of all the rankings. So it's gonna be a super fight. And then hopefully Canelo. Let's see Canelo's fighting this week, so we're gonna see what's gonna happen. And the night ended, or the morning started with UFC. An amazing event. Just a couple of upsets. Batch Korea beat the hometown hero Jessica. Uriah Faber lost against Jimmy Rivera, so Jimmy Rivera is gonna come to title contention quite soon, I'm sure. And then the three main event fights. CM Punk lost. Kinda not in the best light. He didn't show his best performance. I'm sure he's not satisfied with it, and I'm sure a lot of his fans are not satisfied with the performance. Mickey Gall really demolished and showed that he's on another level than CM Punk. I believe they're gonna give Punk another chance. I mean, if we compare it to another great wrestler, Brock Lesnar lost in the first round as well, but he was dominating Frank Mir at the beginning of the fight, and then with the referee's decision and getting over excited, he got caught in a submission. On the other hand, CM Punk got pummeled, so we're gonna see what's gonna happen. But I think they're gonna give him another chance. Just the only problem is who are they gonna match him up with. Fabricio Verdum stopped, not stopped, but he won over Travis Brown. It should have been over in the first round because Travis Brown got an injury and the referee stopped it, even though if it's an injury, you don't stop. If somebody has a broken leg, they don't stop it. It's a win for the other guys. So injuries, same as TKO, but the referee stopped the fight so they could rearrange the finger of Travis Brown, and after that it was just a dull matchup. Fabricio knew he has a win in his pockets against one arm Brown, so I was not pleased with that performance. I'm sure Verdum was, a win is a win, but I think they're gonna give Kane now the next title shot. And of course the main event, I mean, I think I just found my new favorite UFC fighter. I mean, what Stipe showed was not only endurance and determination. It was really a world-class performance. It solidified him as a champion. I mean, the old saying, you don't become a champion until you defend the belt. That's Stipe proved that Saturday night. I mean, Alistair Overeem is one of the best heavyweights of all time. He's and one of the best right now as well. One great striker, great submission artist. He even had Stipe in his most famous submission holds, guillotine, and the way Stipe defended it, you could see he was prepared for it. He got his hips up. He didn't allow Overeem to get him in guard, and just he got out. And after that, he knew Alistair Overeem's confidence will drop down, and then he just start pressuring him, start tagging him. Alistair, of course, the big guy that he is, lost some explosiveness, lost some conditioning, and Stipe just finished the fight then with brutal ground and pound. I mean, he showed everything. He showed he can handle the punch. He showed he can escape the submissions. He showed he can pressure. He showed a great takedown. That was a great takedown. Alistair is not easy to take down, and he showed brutal ground and pound. So all the qualities of a great champion, and I really big fan of Stipe. And on top of that, if you saw the UFC embedded videos, he's a hilarious guy, and he's Croatian. So really, probably my favorite fighter right now. I'm so happy for him. Too bad Alistair had to lose, but I'm sure he will be back, and we'll see. I believe they're gonna match up Kane and Stipe right now. So two great wrestlers with very good striking and good chins. So it's hard to predict that fight, but we'll see what's gonna happen. I can't wait, and I hope you guys were watching, because if you weren't, you were missing on some great fights.